Greetings, dear viewers. Welcome once again to Timeless Reality, where truth meets wisdom and life becomes meaningful. I am your host, Amuche Okoro, and today's conversation is one we all need. No matter who you are, where you come from, or what you believe in, let us talk about trust, the foundation of every healthy relationship. Trust is not just a word. It is the invisible thread that holds families together. It is the spiritual bond that keeps communities strong. It is the lifeline between leaders and followers. And when trust disappears, everything else begins to fall apart. Today, we live in a time where trust is almost a luxury. Suspicion rules. People fear being betrayed. Families are divided. Communities crumble. Nations stagnate. And deep down, many of us don't even trust ourselves anymore. But can there be love without trust? Can there be unity, growth, or peace without trust? The answer is simple: no. Looking at the natural law of trust, I want us to bring this home with a timeless reality principle. The natural law of reflection. You see, the universe reflects back to you the energy you put out. So, when you constantly say, I don't trust anyone, I trust nobody, guess what happens to you? You start attracting untrustworthy people into your life. You feed the very energy you fear. And soon, your reality mirrors that fear. Natural law teaches that trust is a spiritual current. It flows in harmony with divine energy. But when we block it with fear, suspicion, and pride, we cut ourselves off from peace and growth. Now, considering the spiritual crisis of self-distrust, some of us can't even trust our own decisions anymore. We second guess everything. We don't trust our instincts. We don't believe in our purpose. We don't even trust in the guiding angels, our spiritual helpers, and divine guides assigned to us. When we doubt ourselves constantly, we begin to doubt the universe, and eventually we doubt the supremacy of the Almighty God, the creator of the universe and the ruler of all the worlds. This is the simple reason why so many of us are struggling today. Not just because the world is harsh, no, but because we are disconnected from our inner compass, which is built on trust. Let us look at a society without trust. Let's take it a step further. What happens when trust is missing in a nation? What happens is that corruption multiplies. Leaders rule with fear. Citizens revolt in silence. Yes, revolting in silence. Policies fail. Growth is sabotaged. Everyone becomes both suspect and suspecting. When people can't trust their leaders, when leaders can't trust their followers, when siblings can't trust each other, when even spiritual leaders can't be trusted, that society begins to rot from the inside. And the tragedy is, so many of us these days now wear this distrust like a badge of honor. They say things like, I don't trust anybody, as if that is wisdom. But that mindset is not caution, it is corrosion. You attract what you dwell on. Yes, that is the natural law. I want to be clear in this discussion, very, very clear, telling you that trust is not foolishness. Now, let me balance this. Trust is not stupidity. Encouraging criminality or tolerating sharp practices is not trust, it is ignorance. Being wise, setting boundaries, and holding people accountable is not the opposite of trust. No, it is the structure that allows trust to grow. True trust is earned, but it can also be cultivated through values, transparency, and shared goals. Now, how do we build a trustworthy society? Yes, we may not achieve 100% trust, but we can build a high trust society by the following 7 ways. Number 1, starting with self-trust. Yes, believe in your inner voice. 2, living by integrity. Learn to keep your words even when it hurts. 3, being transparent. Truth builds bridges. Silence builds walls. 4, practicing forgiveness. You have to let things go so as to let growth in. 5, teaching trust at home. Let children grow in honesty. 6, holding leaders accountable, not with violence, but with voice and values. And 7, rewarding trustworthiness. Learn to celebrate honesty in others. So I tell you that when we begin to trust again, wisely, spiritually, intentionally, we will unlock new levels of progress, healing, and nation building. So let me leave you with this. The world we all dream of, peaceful, united, and prosperous, can never be built on suspicion. It can only stand on trust. You don't have to trust everybody blindly, but start trusting the process, yourself, your spiritual path, and those who show they are worthy of it. Because when trust flows, life grows. When trust is alive, everything begins to work again. Until next time, align with the natural laws, awaken your spirits, and let your life be a timeless message to the world.